Good good evening and welcome. Welcome to my live stream, Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and again, it's a warm welcome. This is my second live stream of today. I've been doing this 7 days a week, twice a day, for 23 months. Next month, it'll be 2 years. And I've talked to over 2,700 people from not only from the United States, but all around the world. That's a total of 23 countries, including the US. And the subject we're talking about is something that is really terrible to deal with. You really don't have a nice thing to say about them, but they're called the Child Protection System. I call it CPS for short. There are a lot of names for it. There's Child Protection Services, CPS, Department of Children's Services, DCS, Department of Family and Children. There's the Cabinet. Um, there's many different names. So make it simple. I just call it CPS, the Child Protection System. Now, this here is to talk about that. Also, we have the APS, the Adult Protective System. The APS is very similar to the CPS, but it deals with adults starting at 18 and all the way up. Mostly they deal with seniors, but there are children who are still lost in the system that can't be handled by CPS when they turn 18. There are special needs. That's where Adult Protective Services picks up, and that's who they take care of. They also take care of older people that have been abused in caregiving or neglected in caregiving. And it's sad, but our older people have been doing that. So we have APS and CPS. For right now, I'm just going to talk CPS. There's been a few people that have talked about their mother or father being abused by a caregiver or by a nursing home. And there was one child that was lost for years that belonged to mother in Georgia, and he was lost in Texas. When he turned 18, CPS apparently didn't return him and wanted to get the money for him. And he was a special needs child, but he's home now with the mother. I can talk about that story later. There's many stories that I have here to share with you. Now, there's lots of things you can do in this room. You can text me a message. I'd love to hear from you. You can text me a message. And the message is anything about CPS. You make a question or a comment about CPS, and then you send it in along with your first name, your city or county, and your state. And if you're from another country, put that too. People in the United States don't have to put countries because I know where all the states are. And then also, it's first time, tell someone about your case. So that's one way to interact. Another way is you could be a guest on my live stream. All you have to do is email me, Bob Pace, Vincent at vincentwdavis.com. You just pick one of my 14 shows. I want to be Bob's Sunday morning show or Bob's Saturday night show or Friday night show or something there. Hello. Hello, this is the live stream for Fighting CPS with your host, Bob Pace. Who do I have the pleasure of talking to?
Okay, I'm so sorry. This is Jessica from the office of Vincent Davis. I have someone on the line and wants to speak with you. Can I transfer the phone call now?
Sure. You're with the law firm then. Your reception. Gotcha.
Yes, okay. I will transfer now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Hmm. Okay, we have a person that's called into the show, being transferred by my office reception. Someone must have called the 888-888-6582 number. Hello, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hi, Bob. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Who is this? Desiree. All right. Glad to talk to you,
Yes.
Desiree. What can I do for you, Desiree?
Okay, so I'm moving on. Last time I talked to you about a Riverside County. Maybe
Okay.
I shouldn't mention any county.
Okay.
Okay. Well, because I remember watching Vince saying he don't really like to discuss counties. So I was like, okay. But I'm excited. I'm always excited when I talk to you, Bob.
Good. Glad to hear that. But you called my office. You called my
Yes,
office instead of call my
yes,
number.
sir.
You don't have my number?
I called your office.
Yeah, because Ch-
Um,
Jessica, the receptionist there, said we have a call for your show tonight.
well, I don't have. I mean, you have two numbers.
Well, I have two numbers. I have the office number, which is 888-888-6582, and then my number, 626-698-0990.
Okay.
That's fine. It doesn't make a
Okay.
difference. You're connected, you're
Yeah.
live, everybody is listening to you in the room.
Hi, everybody. I wish everybody the best of luck. I wanted to ask you, though, Bob. Is there any way that I'm going to trial on the third for a juvenile dependency? I don't know if it's too late to file a postpartum or to cancel my attorney or my social worker for negligence to the state bar or not.
Well,
I'm just, I
you're
don't know
getting
what to
down to
do.
the wire. You're getting down to the wire, and it's very risky. Um, by the way, what county and state are you in, Desiree?
I, I live in Santa Ana, California, and my case is in Riverside, and I also have a case in SD,
Case where?
in
Besides
San
Rivers,
Bernardino,
San. Oh, you have a case in Riverside County and San Bernardino County.
and
Wow.
San Bernardino.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
two cases
And
in
I
there.
have another case in Riverside. So I have I have two cases in Riverside, and I got two cases in San Bernardino.
Why
I have
not?
4
Why
children
not where you live in Orange County? Why aren't you in Orange County CPS?
because I don't have no kids out here in Orange County. So
Oh, so you moved from San Bernardino to Santa Ana.
I moved around a lot of places.
Oh,
A lot of
okay.
places.
Well, I'm just trying to. Okay, when your case first opened up, was it Riverside County or San Bernardino County?
San Bernardino County.
Okay, and you were living in San Bernardino County first, right?
Yes.
And what did that involve? What were the accusations?
Basically, hold on. I'm going to tell you a rundown real quick. Basically, it's because I told the CPS worker that since he did what he did, like I don't know, like I might bail him out. Like I didn't know what to do, but they quoted me on that. They quoted me that I might bail him out. So they thought that was not in the best interest of the child. So they both like condemned us. And then when
Wait. You said something about bailing out. Bailing out who?
my ex-husband who was a Marine.
Okay, so you and your
He's on
husband had one child, two child, three child. Are we talking about one child in
two child.
two childs? Okay, we're talking about two childs in
Yes.
San Bernardino. Now, do you have another husband in Riverside and another child in Riverside?
No, I've never been married again after that. I never got married again after that.
Okay, so do you have a third child in Riverside with a man that you had a child with? Did you have a third child?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm trying to understand it. So that was a different man that you had a child in Riverside. So there's two
Yes.
children with one father and one children with one father. Two in San Bernardino and one in Riverside. Now, why did you leave San Bernardino to move to Riverside?
I moved from San Bernardino and moved in with my dad, and then my dad had passed away, and then I became homeless. And then when I became homeless, I had to move in with my ex-husband. I was pregnant with our second child, and then he abused me. And then I asked my stepmother to come pick me up. And then I stayed with her for a little bit. And then Ronnie, my ex, he dropped me off at a shelter for women with children. And then he went with his mistress. And then I filed a divorce. And then I moved to homeless. And I gave my son to my mother-in-law. And he was never involved in CPS. But since the dad has my daughter, and that's his son, so that's my only son who's never been through CPS like that.
Okay,
But,
so your
I
third
went to
child. So
San Bernardino.
okay, let's go with the first case, San Bernardino. Where you at on that? Is the father still involved, or is just you?
I have court on October 3rd, and I have court on October 3rd from October 13th for the San Bernardino court, and then I have October 3rd for the Riverside.
Okay, so they're doing it backwards. They're getting the older case later and the newer case earlier.
That's how it works. I don't know why. Okay, so the court case for the San Bernardino is on October 13th, and that's to file for parenting time and contempt for the father because he has failed.
Well, okay, I'm trying to do this in a timeline picture. I know. Slow down. I don't know anything about the case. I don't have the case before me. But apparently you have a case in Riverside, and we are charged with neglect or abuse or both. In Riverside.
Neglect.
Okay, you're a child with neglect.
That's not true.
And now, was your husband a child with neglect? Was the father child with neglect?
Yes, he's not even allowed to have a baby, period.
Okay.
I don't even know why he goes for it.
All right, that's fine.
I do understand, but he doesn't.
All right. So those two children, where were they put in? Where were they put in?
My two oldest.
Well, I don't know if they're older or young or whatever. The two children you had in Riverside County, where were they put in there?
Okay, Riverside County. I'm going to go from the youngest. My youngest, he's about to get adopted out on the 3rd. And I'm trying my best to stop that. And then my third baby, which is his big sister, she's 11. She was adopted to the family, the dad's side of the family, and I don't get no visitation or whatnot. I was like, that's ridiculous. And so the San Bernardino one, my son, he's 16, and he got placed there because I had to make a decision whether or not I wanted to give my son to my mother-in-law and get my stuff together while we're staying in a dirty motel, or keep him staying with me, in this dirty motel with cockroaches and stuff. Like, no. And it was the most hardest thing I ever had to do in my life. So I gave my son to her. We made that plan, and I didn't get my son back because the mistress was on the telephone telling me, you're not getting your son back. And they made false accusations. And then I filed a, what is it called? When you kidnap your child? I filed that. And then they lied and said, oh, he's like, this is that, and then this is that. I'm like, no. And then I was homeless. I became homeless when they told me that I wasn't going to get my son back. So my whole life went spiraling down to the ground. And I went through a lot, and I got lost. I was out there for a long time, and I tried my best. I didn't have a ride, so I lost my son,
Well, okay, can we stop for a moment? I need to, it's all spaghetti to me right now because I deal with a timeline. I start at the beginning. So I know you had two children in Riverside, and that case happened before the third child in San Bernardino. Now, the case is coming up on the 3rd. I want to talk about the case on the 13th because that's the older case. That has two children. And now, are you doing family reunification? Well, let's do one at a time. How about San Bernardino? Are you doing family reunification, San Bernardino?
No, I've been trying to. The father and the mistress at the time, well, she's always going to be considered the mistress to me. But I always will have respect, though, because whatever. She and him will not let me see the baby. And I have
who has custody of your two Rivers? Who has custody of your two San Bernardino children? The father And the
My
mistress,
ex-husband.
your ex-boy, what about the husband? What does he have custody of?
No, that's my ex-husband, San Bernardino.
Okay, San Bernardino is your ex-husband and his mistress have custody of your children. Why did they get custody and you didn't get custody?
Because I don't have no family members, and my dad had passed away, and I didn't have any family members that were willing.
But was he charged with
take
the
my kids
same
in and
thing you
stuff.
were charged? Was he charged with neglect or abuse?
No, my son wasn't. They wanted to put that. I guess the mistress put and said that he had like all his infections. Like he was perfectly fine when I left him with his grandma, you know. But I did know that the place that we were staying in, the hotel, it gave me rotavirus. I had to go to the emergency room, and maybe that was it. I don't know. They did not have no report placed inside the paperwork of them saying we can't return your son to you because he's that sick and this sick. They didn't give me no paperwork like that, and it's not even filed. So that was false. And so they got to keep him while I'm going through a nervous breakdown and I'm homeless, you know, and it was like, oh my God, like I'm not going to get my son back. You know? So I went to the VA to try to get my benefits, and I worked my butt off, you know, to get that. And homeless with no car, just my feet, you know, and I walked a lot of miles. And I made it. I got my benefits, and then this is years later, you know, and it looks like on paper that I'm not trying, you know, but they don't know. It's like I did try, and now I got a nice stable place. I'm 38 years old now. I got a dog. She's beautiful. She's a little Cocker Spaniel.
Do you have a job and a home? Do you have a job and a home?
Yes, I do. I have great income, and I pay my bills on time.
Good.
It's going up.
Then why won't they give you the 2 children from your husband in the San Bernardino case? Why won't they give you the 2 children?
They wouldn't give me the children because I had missed the court date. That's why. I was homeless. I remember that day too. It was very bad. I was so distraught. And
well, why did you miss the court date? Why you missed the court date? Because you're homeless?
And then I tried again. Yes. And I was always.
Why was your husband not homeless? Why was your husband not homeless?
Because he had his mom, and he has his mistress who wants to take responsibility over my kids and then take care of my ex-husband, you know, because he's a, you know. But until later on did she tell me, you know, like what was really going on, and I did not file that with that court. And
what was going on? What really was going on? What really was going on?
He was doing drugs still, and he was always sitting in the garage. She said, and I was like, I remember that, yes. And then she goes that he doesn't even take care of the kids. I do. And I'm like, she goes, you gotta get your kids back, man. And I'm like, what? Don't tell me that. You know, like, I'm pregnant though with my 3rd child, which is my mija from Riverside. And her name was Angela. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know why you telling me this now. I already told you this, but he's not gonna change for you. You know, so you just broke up a family. I was feeling like, you know, like I felt betrayed by both of them. And it's like, so I tried again, and then I filed some paperwork, and then I missed my court date again. And I was like, darn it, you know, like, I was like, oh man. So I did again. I have to get my stuff together, more better than this. You know, you can't just say, yeah, I want my kids back and not be mentally, emotionally, and physically prepared, right? So I have been working very hard, and for 18 years, you know, and I didn't get no satisfaction until right now. Now I'm fighting this guy. I'm getting weaker as I get older because, you know, the emotion it's very, very stressful. And when you're going through court cases, like it takes up all your time and energy, that you forget about a lot of things. You know?
Oh, I know it does. Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so they wanted that your ex-husband and his mistress wants to take over your 2 children. And so you have another case in Riverside that comes up on October 4th. What's happening there with that one
October
child?
3rd.
Okay, October 3rd.
October 3rd.
What's happening
That
there?
was in Riverside County. What's happening here is that what happened was that I was going into detox at the VA, Loma Linda, and I was waiting too long, and I was like, either you guys are going to help me or not, I'm leaving, like I'm feeling like, but I end up trying to get up, pack up my stuff, and leave the detox center and at the hospital, the ER, and then they told me that I was pregnant. And like I had left because I got freaked out. I was like, no.
Well, wait. This is your fourth child? This is your fourth child?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you had 4 children. I thought you had 3 children. Where was this fourth child born? What county?
I have two in Riverside and 2 in San Bernardino.
Okay. Is that is it 2 fathers in San Bernardino? Is it 2 fathers in San Bernardino?
Only one.
Okay. So who's the father of the other 3 children? The same father?
No, my third child, I met him in college, and then my fourth child, I met him when I was homeless.
Okay, so you have 2 men there. You have 3 men in your life.
Yes.
Okay. And you have 2 children with 2 different men. One was while you're in college, and another one whenever. And then you have your husband, who you had 2 children with. Are you divorced from him?
Yes.
Okay. So you're no longer divorced. And what was the custody arrangement with the 2 children with your divorce?
Our custody arrangement was for me to see the child for 2 hours. It says sole legal and primary to father. Mother shall have professionally monitored visits 2 times per week for 2 hours, dated January 3rd, 2012 and January 24th.
Are you able to see your children? Are you able to see your children on those visitations? Why not?
No, not because I was stuck homeless in India for about 2 years, and then I had to come, and then I had to leave some bad people, in the streets. I was so traumatized, and so I finally tried to in 2012 or 2012 to 2013, and then again in 2021, and I was threatened with my life by the mistress, and I filed a restraining order, but I didn't make it to the restraining order court hearing because I didn't have a ride, but now I have a car, and I have income, and I'm very stable, and I'm very motivated, and
Do you have an attorney? Desiree? Do you have an attorney?
Yes, but I do have an attorney only it's a public defender.
Okay.
And Riverside's on my youngest only. I don't have a public or an attorney for my other ones. No. I'm so solo.
Well, you should have a public defender if that's what you want to take. You should have that for Riverside. How come you don't have for Riverside?
If she's being she already has the appellant from the 4th District, Division 2. It says that we have considered appellant's motion to construe appellant's untimely notice of appeal as a notice of intent to file a writ petition, California Rules of Court, Rule number 8.450E, and for relief from default due to late filing pursuant to NRE AR 2021 11th Cal 234 AR, as well as appellant's motion to recall the remitter and vacate the dismissal order due to ineffective assistance of counsel, both filed by July 21st, 2025, see People versus Gerson, 2022. And then it says 80 Cal App 5th 1067, 1093. And on the next thing, it says, Respondent County Council of Riverside County is directed to serve and file a response to the motions on or before 15 days from the date of this order, which was dated Cal 4728, 740, FN period 7. And then it says the motions may be construed the notice of appeal as notice of intent and deemed the notice of intent to be timely under the constructive filing doctrine. AR Supra 11 Cal 234, IN space RE space Benoit BENOIT 1973 10 Cal 3D 72 78 83 to 89. I'm like, you guys are just uppercutting me, dude. Like, let me know how to fight this up, dude. But then the last one says, though, at the end of this page, it says, good causing for obtaining a response appears in that the juvenile court entered orders on December 3rd, 2024, setting a selection and implication hearing. An appellant shall contend her counsel after December 3rd hearing to file an appeal on her behalf. She alleges her counsel assured her that she would file a notice of intent on her behalf. However, instead of filing a notice of intent, counsel filed a notice of appeal on February 3rd, 2025. Now, on February 13th, the court dismissed the appeal because the setting of a selection and information hearing welfare and institution code 366.26 is not an appealable court or not an appealable order and must be challenged through a writ petition. And that the case was assigned to a staff attorney at Apollo Defenders Incorporated on March 6, 2025. Although that the attorney made attempts to contact Apollo's trial counsel, those attempts were unsuccessful. Remitted term was issued on April 17, 2025. Had this court known that there were grounds to grant relief from default, and Apollo Defenders Incorporated intended to file a motion, it would not have issued the remitted term. So if an informal response is filed, Apollo may serve and file a reply on or before 15 days from the filing of the response. See California Rules of Court Rule 8.385 B3. That's it. So I did put a declaration. But I didn't want to put. I wanted to get rid of her though because I can feel in my gut like sometimes maybe you shouldn't do something, you know. I didn't put that on there. I just put, I'm the mother of Jeremiah, a juvenile case number, blah, blah, you know, an appeal number 2, like, blah, blah. My attorney, Veronica, filed a notice of appeal on February 3rd, 2025. And from the court's order, the juvenile court's order of December 3rd, 2024, terminating my family reunification services and setting the matter for a section 366.26 hearing. Exhibit A, this court dismissed my appeal on February 13, 2025 because the orders entered may not be appealed but must initially be subject of a writ petition. Exhibit B. And number 3, it says the juvenile court informed me of my right to appeal. When I cooperated and answered questions about what had happened in order to remedy the situation. I feel my case was not handled as it should. I feel that the court's decision of December 3rd, 2024, and has consistently communicated my desire to appeal the juvenile court decision. I declare under penalty of perjury of the laws of the state of California that the foregoing is true and correct, executed on April 15th, 2025. By Desiree Kavanaugh. So, what do I do?
Well, first of all, with your Riverside, now, if this is right, what I hear, let me read this back to you because I was researching it when you were dealing with Tell Me the Case. What I found out that the 366.26 is a critical court proceeding in a juvenile dependency case which you had to determine the child's permanent plan for out-of-home placement. Now, did you say they've already had that or they're going to have it?
I have my new paperwork that just came in day before yesterday.
No, I'm asking you, my question is, have you had the out-of-home placement hearing?
Yeah, like they already told me that I was gonna.
Okay.
Gonna try to,
See, that is the critical thing it says here. That is very, very critical. At this hearing, the court focused on making a permanent plan. So what was the plan that the court focused on your child?
Okay, the first plan was to keep the child at home because I'm doing.
I'm not talking about the first case. I'm talking about the Riverside case. About one child.
They're gonna give my son my 1-year-old, to the baby's dad's sister, and he gets to see my son anytime, and I don't. And he's already doing it without the supervisor there.
Yeah, hold on a second.
I got pictures, I got everything.
Okay.
My social worker needs to get fired.
Well, you can't. Okay. The problem is your case is very colluded. You're bouncing around between 4 children and 3 men. And you also have and all that mixture. You're ex-military, you're a veteran, and then you've been homeless and you couldn't make your court appearance, you couldn't make your visitations. You show a really confused parent, a very troubled parent to the court. That's why you're in the trouble that you're in, because you guys show stability. Stability means you know what you're doing. Well, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know. You don't know I mean, being homeless, that's a bad thing, but that should be only a temporary thing. You can get a home, you can get a job. McDonald's hires at $23 an hour starting out. Whether you're from Costa Rica, well, they don't discriminate against disabled people. They're supposed to hire disabled people.
I've been looking for jobs, sir.
Okay. All right. I know. But I'm just trying to say they're out there. So as soon as you get a job, you get income and you can get a place to stay. Your problem is that you have all these other things. They think as a parent, you don't have the facility to take care of a child. That's why they're doing this to you. Because number one, you're using court-appointed attorney. They're going to take advantage of you. You're using crooked social workers. San Bernardino, Riverside County are bad child protection systems. They really are bad. So that's why you run into there. So what you got to do is, first of all, you're supposed to have an attorney in your Riverside case. If you can't afford one, they're supposed to appoint you one. Why did they not want to give you an attorney for your Riverside case?
No, they did give me a public pretender.
I know what you want to call them or whatever it is. They're lousy. But you told me you didn't have an attorney for one of the trials.
She's not efficient. She failed to file.
Well, I understand that. But in order to get some efficiency, did you sue them for negligence and call Sacramento and report to the state bar that they have their license removed because they're negligent? Have you done that?
No.
Okay. If you haven't done. Okay. It involves making a phone call to the state bar. You can look it up on the internet and
Okay.
get the phone number. It's
So what's gonna happen after that? So
916. Well, they're going
I
to have to
have it.
investigate
I
it, but
have
it's
it,
going to
sir.
take time. But anyway, you need to call the area code 916 and speak to someone at the state bar and tell them your problem, that you had a
Okay.
court appointed attorney and they did nothing for you. Meanwhile, you got a case coming up on the
Okay.
3rd of Friday, October 3rd. That's next Friday. It's a week from the day after tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And you don't have much time
Yeah.
running out there. So you need to go
Right.
do you know where the courthouse is in Riverside?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you go to the courthouse and you go to
No,
the
I'm
public.
sorry.
Do you want to hear the answer or you want to give me the answer?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just saying that you go to the
That's okay.
courthouse and you find the public defender's office. You tell them you have a case in Riverside County and they've given you no court appointed attorney. You need one to defend yourself.
But I we have a court appointed
You
one.
just
We
told me you
barely have
don't
one.
have one in Riverside. Which one do you have an attorney, San Bernardino or Riverside?
I don't have one for San Bernardino.
Okay,
Now,
I'm sorry. Do you know where the courthouse of San Bernardino is?
yes, I do.
Okay, in the courthouse, they have a thing called the public defender's office. You march in there, tell them you have a court case, but no court appointed attorney. You need one. Now, they're going to ask you some questions about your
Right.
income, and you may have to fill out some forms
Right.
proving that you're indigent and can't afford an attorney. But you got to do that tomorrow.
Okay.
You got to do that tomorrow. And by Friday,
Okay.
you got to have that court
Okay.
appointed attorney. And with that court appointed attorney, you need to talk to them. Now, they may not wait and talk to you to the following Friday, but you need to talk to them ahead of time and see what he or she's game plan is for your case. Because without a court appointed
Gotcha.
attorney, you're going to be helpless in court, and the judge is not going to listen to you.
Well, I thought that they already court appoint attorneys without your permission, anyways.
No, that you have to ask for one. They don't give you one unless they love you
I
to
didn't
take.
ask for one. I didn't ask.
Well, they
I didn't
gave
ask
you
for
one
one
probably
for
because you.
Riverside.
Okay. Um, did they ever ask you, do you want a court appointed attorney? Have they ever asked you that?
I don't remember, but I mean, I
Okay.
would
All right.
obviously say
Well,
yes.
they are supposed to in any court. Okay. If you have a case with the child protection system, you have to be represented. It's a legal matter. It's a constitutional law that all people that are accused of legal matters have attorney. If they don't have attorney, one can be appointed to them if they can't afford one.
Yeah.
So somehow you misled somebody or somebody told you something, you missed it, whatever it is, you need to get that court appointed attorney in San Bernardino. So you go to the courthouse in San Bernardino, go to the public defender's office, say you have such and such a case, show them your case paperwork, and that you want a public defender because you can't afford a real defender. And they'll ask you, are you indigent? And can you fill out this financial statement? Then they'll provide you one. And you need to speak to that attorney ahead of your court date on the 3rd. They may not talk to you because they're really full, but a lot of times they hang out all day in the courtrooms. Their caseload is 30 to 100
Yeah.
clients. So they're going to be busy. They're going to be busy.
Okay. So show up early.
Well, yeah, but you also should try to see them ahead of time.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Now what about I mean, she still hasn't got. I gave her so much ammo for my 1-year-old in Riverside, the one that's coming up on the 3rd. She has not contacted me back about anything. So I'm like, I'm about to do this. I'm about to file, what I've watched on YouTube against her, and then my social worker too, and then I don't know if that's gonna backtrack or make more time though for my son to be reunited with me, because all I want is a reunification every week, because you guys took my baby dude right when I was done breastfeeding,
Well, they had to because you weren't capable of raising or taking care of that child. That's why they took the baby away from you.
I called Paul. she said she's very, very, she understands that I did do the right thing. But the CPS is like, she endangered her child, for the, injecting and, yeah.
Hold on a second here. Deidre, hold on. I have a visitor to our room. His name is William Alvarez. I have no idea where he's from, whether he has a CPS case. What's going on, William? This is a live stream with people that need help fighting child protection system. This is what the room's all about. And I have a lady on the phone that called in that is trying to talk about, she has two cases. She has one in San Bernardino and one in Riverside. She has 4 children. 3 of them are by one guy, and the other one, excuse me, I take it back. 2 are by one guy, and the other 2 are by 2 different guys. She has 3 different men. Anyway, she's trying to fight this without an attorney. And if you don't have an attorney, it's very hard to fight. Does that answer your question, William Alvarez? And I would like to know where you're from, William. But thank you for joining the room here. Okay, back to you, Deidre. I'm trying to help you get this solved. The solution for your San Bernardino is you need to get an attorney aboard. That's the only way you're going to be able to fight that one. Now, the one in Riverside. Go ahead. I was going to ask you, the one in Riverside, what is that all about? What's the one in Riverside all about?
The 2 in Riverside is my third child. It's a girl. Her name is Gomez. And they did dirty. They did dirty. And they did really dirty. And so did the people that were taking my children, which was the dad's side of the family. So what had happened was, my daughter was already barely calling me mommy where she could talk, and then we see each other at the, at the building, where I'm supposed to meet up at the social worker's office, and things were going good, except that on a weekday or on a weekend, I had a ankle bracelet on that is an alcohol monitor. Voluntarily, I did that with the courts for the VCA program, Veterans Justice Outreach. The VJO program. And it came off on a weekend, and I was battling my demons that right then and there. As soon as I woke up, I was like, oh no, because I knew I had money in my bank account, and so I didn't know what to do because I was not feeling comfortable with myself, living by myself, and I had the ankle monitor on, but it came off on a weekend. So I tried to call my voluntarily, he's a probation officer with veterans only, and I told him, and I had to leave a message because he wasn't available on the weekends, and then I was pacing back and forth, fighting and sweating and talking to myself, and then I ended up going and getting that drink, and then unfortunately that person put something in my drink, and then I ended up fighting a police officer, and then I went to jail, and then Monday I had court. I lost my daughter. So that was it. I did everything with a broken femur bone too, by the way. And I messed up. I mean, that just happened,
Well, if you have children, you're not supposed to go to bars.
I didn't go to a bar. I went to San Bernardino, my friend's house. He's another veteran. But this veteran is a bad veteran.
Okay.
So, he put something in my drink. I know he did. Yeah, I know he did because I could feel it. When I opened up the cap, it didn't even click, and it was a little bit empty. And I took one little tiny sip, and then I don't know. All I remember is stumbling to the couch, and then doing some bad stuff. And then I got in a fight with the police officer because she put her hands on me, and she's not supposed to do that because I didn't do anything. She said that. I'm just trying to fight everybody. He got me on a rampage outside. I'm like, what battle buddy does that to another one? So never spoke to him again, but I did lose my daughter though that Monday because I did not make it to court. Plus they heard about me fighting a police officer who was the same height, same age, whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm military, she's Popo. I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. I was just like, so I lost my daughter and then I went into a spiral. And then I met some bad people when I moved into my new neighborhood. Low income housing has a lot were around that area because it's all bad. So that happened, and then I had got introduced to my third baby's dad, and then I didn't know.
Hold on 1 second, Desiree. Desiree, time out. I have someone that came in the room called Tony the Tiger. Hi, Tony the Tiger. She is from Cassandra. Tony the Tiger is from Ostanego, New York. She has a son that she's trying to get back. Her family's been abusing and so forth. And so she says, hey, family. Well, I got your attention, Tony. I have a very urgent, important question before you go off, Bob, please. So that I'm now on my third degree or third legal. What is your question, Tony? And she's called Cassandra. What is your question? How can I help you? Hold on, Desiree. Hold on.
I'm holding.
Tony, what is your question? I have my caller on hold. I'm trying to help you, Tony. What is your question? Tony's, here's her question. So this is the second round in court. This is my third court appointed attorney, and they are all coming from Legal Aid Society of New York. Anyway, she cornered me. She coerced me to take a deal when I had evidence, and I had. Why did you accept a deal? Why did you accept a deal, Tony? What was the deal? What was that you're coerced into doing? What was the deal, Tony? The witness, until I told her the witness name, and magically there was a reason or excuses why they couldn't be witnesses for me. So I knew that the lawyer was going to do something with my evidence, so never gave. Well, that's terrible. You can definitely sue the lawyer for negligence and report him to the State Bar of New York. You can report him, Tony. Her anything, but I never filled out paperwork to begin with for a court-appointed attorney, nor did I sign my retainer for any of these lawyers to be my lawyer. Well, what are you trying to tell me? Communicate. I don't understand what the question or the problem is. If you don't have an attorney, they will appoint you one. Now, you don't have to accept them. You could be a pro se and be your attorney yourself, but you'll be eaten up alive. You'll be eaten up alive. I need more information, Tony. Okay, Desiree, I'm sorry. Can you continue? I'll get back to Tony, but can you continue, Desiree?
Okay, yes. So what did we leave off at?
We left at that you're going to go to San Bernardino and get a court-appointed attorney because you don't have one.
Correct. Okay. So yeah, I can do that. My problem, though, I mean, I already know that I'm going to get my visitation. My daughter's going to be 18 in November, for November 2nd.
Well, then she can come home anyway. She can come home anyway.
She doesn't know me, though. She don't know me. She don't kids, and then I guess the dad enjoyed seeing that. He's a general discharge Marine, and you know how dirty they can be sometimes. But anyways, so after that had happened, I went to court, and then I put a restraining order on her for threatening my life. And she said if I don't get phone, she's gonna do all that stuff, you know. And then I was like, that didn't scare me. I was just looking for my kids, because last time I looked and I was at grandma's house, Layla looked out the window and sadly was waving hi to me. You know, like I'm like, what are you doing in there? Like, I don't care. What are you doing? What is telling you to stay in there? I'm thinking, you know, like, how come you can't come out here and say hi to your mommy? So I had to sweet talk Dad into letting me see Layla and the baby while he was at his mom's house. And the mistress wasn't there. So we did come out, you know, and then they did come out. And then I have pictures and everything. It was great, you know. And then I think I showed up. I was pregnant with my third child, you know, Lewiston County. And then hi, she said, Mommy. And she like ran into my arms off grandma's lap and gave me a big old hug. And then my ex-husband was going to try to attack me, you know, violently because he was drunk. And then his mom got in the way, you know. I didn't pay attention to him, you know. And Layla's looking at him, and I, you know, gently holding her face, like, look at me. Look at him. I'm like, yes, I did. What are you doing? And she's like, I'm baby. You know, she's so happy, you know. And I gave her like a nice fur coat bunny one with the hood, and it fit her like silky smooth. And then she lost my ring and had a butterfly on it. And before I left, I gave it to her. I put it on her finger, and I told her, you can girl. They got my picture of daddy, you know. That's why I said, and behave yourself, you know.
Right. Desiree, we are 8 o'clock at my show time, which means I need to end my show. But I can talk to you some more tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Tony, I need to help you further. You said that my lawyer to sign a release so he can speak with me one-on-one. I shouldn't need one, right? Well, I don't know what you've done with lawyers or not. Hello, Rocky. I'm getting ready to end my show. I know you're tired, Rocky. Rocky is from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Glad to see you, Rocky. And then Tony, I have court-appointed attorney. I don't want, but judge won't let me get rid of him. And I recently had a law firm contact me to speak about my case and the possibility of helping me, but they said because I'm already. Oh, I'm sorry, Rocky. Yeah, you're New York. I apologize. I try to remember everybody. Yeah, Rocky is from New York. That's right. His brother is in Virginia. I'm sorry, Rocky. I got that wrong. Anyway, Tony, can you call me tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock early? And we can talk about this, Tony. I want to help you. Tony. But it's late at night. I do have to close my show down. I want to thank Rocky for coming in at the last minute there from New York. I have Tony the Tiger from Ostenego County, New York. I got two New Yorkans. All right, I have two New Yorkans. And I have William Alvarez, who I have no idea where he's from. And he asked me, the only thing he says, what's going on? Well, this is a CPS case. And I have Desiree. And Desiree lives in Santa Ana, but has a case in San Bernardino and a case in Riverside. It involves 4 children and 3 men. And it's a big mess. But I want you to call me back again tomorrow, Desiree, at 10 a.m. in the morning. Now, use my number, the 626-698-0990 number, not the office. They can transfer me, but it's a little difficult. 626-698-0990.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I have Kelsey that came in after 8:10. My show's over at 8 o'clock, Kelsey. I'm ending the show. But thank you, Michael and Kelsey. I want to hear about it, but call me again tomorrow at 10. So I'm going to be on at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Don't forget.
We're coming out.
don't forget that you want to fight for your children. Don't give up. Please come to this room. I will help you. I do care about every one of you. There'll be a short video I want you to listen to at the end. And God bless you and have a good night. This is Bob and Desiree signing off. This is Bob and Desiree signing off.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted, and if you go against then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce him. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last ones left. Put your faith in